For reasons known only to the Cosmos, or perhaps just to Raphael. He apparently thought the show would be flashier if I were both in the thumbnail and presenting part of it. Because nothing says clickbait like a disapproving blonde with standards. Alright, my lovely gearheads, welcome back to Sebring. First things first, this track isn't just any old circuit. Sebring started life as a World War II airfield, and they turned it into a bumpy, tricky playground for us speed demons. It's got character, a bit of history, and it loves to surprise anyone who thinks they can tame it. First, we'll kick things off with a selection of highlights, elegantly paired with classical music. Because, frankly, it was the easiest copyright-safe option. Mozart never files claims. Then we dive into one particularly fascinating race, which is code, of course, for utter carnage, followed by a quick look at some numbers from the series. After that, Raphael will be live as he takes you through a full race, reacting in real time, triumphs, disasters, and everything in between. And once that wraps, he'll keep the mic on for an incident analysis, which promises all the seriousness of a pit lane argument. And if anyone's actually tuned in by the end, we'll even have a little Q&A and a chat. So if you fancy a word with Raphael, he'll be here. Assuming we haven't scared everyone off by then. So then, brace yourselves for some elegantly catastrophic GT3 action, set, quite fittingly, to classical music in our highlight segment we're now calling
Sonata in GT3 minor!
Now, just so you know who to keep your eyes on, we, yes, the Wassom team, are running a bright yellow Mercedes out there, and our very own Rafael is starting on pole position. Though let's be honest, he got a cheeky bit of luck, because the original pole sitter had a little, shall we say, computer hiccup, and had to start from the pits. So if you see that flash of yellow gliding, or let's be honest, sliding, through those puddles, you'll know exactly who to cheer for. And speaking of puddles, oh, the weather's been a right tease. Most races are dry with a few wet spots, but sometimes it's like the track's playing a little guessing game. It might start to dry up and then, whoops, a downpour. Keeps you on your toes, and keeps me entertained watching all of you try to figure it out. Oh, and on that formation lap, absolute radio chaos. Everyone and their mother was debating tires. Almost all of them picked dry tires except for one brave soul who thought differently. So you can imagine the chatter. It's all part of the fun, and I'll be here to tease you through it.
Uh-oh, I see spray.
So who's on wet and who's on dries?
Yeah, take it easy. Yeah, take it easy. It's wet.
Everyone is embraced.
I'm in the Mustang, so yeah.
Your car's not gonna matter. Just take it.
Yeah, it's pretty wet, but just be careful. It should dry.
Just take it easy on the first lap.
Oh, it's slippy. Yeah, I think it's wet, to be fair.
I get pulled, and then my game crashes, and I miss the start. Awesome.
Might be a blessing in disguise, man.
Are you guys gonna change to wet?
Honestly, don't know.
I just don't think it'll be worth it.
I don't know, man. It's pretty slippy.
That's what she said.
Taking out the fucking track.
Definitely not. Definitely.
I might be gonna stop. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's how slippy it is.
These guys tell me slicks or dries.
Dry. Oh man, tower is a disaster.
Careful, boys. Careful.
Holy fuck, this cat, this way.
Green flag is out. And look at that. Rafael actually keeps the lead. I know. I'm shocked too. Second place dives straight into the pits. Sensible. Cowardly perhaps, but sensible. We've got a decent run into turn 1, 2 wide, and yes. There it is. A spin. Then a Mustang completely out of control slams into us. Welcome to Sebring, my loves. Two Porsches decide to remove each other from existence, and suddenly the track looks like a scrapyard. Absolute chaos. Let's take a look at the first attempt into the hairpin. The first GTP somehow makes it through. The second is sightseeing on the grass. Third and fourth take what I assume is the optional tourist route. Another one's in the grass. One car actually gets it right. Miracles do happen. And another decides the auxiliary road looks inviting. Frankly, I think only 2 drivers remembered where the circuit actually goes. Now the GT3s arrive. First place in the grass. Second place in the grass. A few more drifting like they're auditioning for Bollet. Most of them do survive, shockingly. But further up the road, a massive crash I didn't even notice at first. because I was too busy watching everyone else embarrass themselves. And there it is, our yellow Mercedes, near the back, but not last, which, honestly, at this point counts as a victory. Another crash. That's Tony, a Ford Mustang. James Stamp, who started second and is now desperately trying to undo fate. Two cars already out. And then, bang. James collects a Ferrari parked nicely in the middle of the road. Bold parking choice. Let's see how that started. Alexander spins his BMW and hits another BMW already enjoying the grass. Then Alexander spins. Stephanie arrives at the exact same spot. Then Gilberto's Mercedes joins the party, because why not? Lucas is off in the Porsche but somehow escapes without damage. And then, bang! Alexander enters the track at precisely the wrong moment. Bartek spins his Mercedes. Does a lovely pirouette to rejoin, and then immediately hits Jersey's Porsche. That was ambitious. A coordinated spin from Stefan and Tyler follows. Tyler survives. Stefan meets the barrier. Guess who planned better? We're still on lap 2. Another crash. Andrew in the Ford, Joshua in the Porsche. A BMW hits the wall. We're on lap 3. Lap 3. Somehow, we now have a nice little battle between Tom and Tony. Tom leaves the road, does a full 360 in his Mercedes. And a few corners later crashes properly. Commitment. Tower Bend claims another victim, Tony Sumter in the Porsche. And then oh dear, that Ferrari is in a very bad way. On board with Mustafa, and honestly, I have no idea what he thought was going to happen there. Big hit. That GTP BMW is not going much farther. Now Christian Len tries to carve through GT3 traffic like a bowling ball. Hits one. Then hits Tony, but Tony refuses to be a pin. He becomes the ball. They tangle, lose time and somehow rejoin. Lauritz Jensen spins the Aston Martin. That curb is absolutely lethal. He's stuck, rear wheels in the air, nothing he can do. And here comes Mr. Franco, finally leaving the pits, and immediately spinning. Yes, he chose dry tires, convinced the track was drying, it wasn't. Off the road again. Then into the wall at Tower Bend. back to the pits again. This will take a while. Eventually Franco returns, this time on wet tires. Progress. One last spin. And he starts overtaking what's left of the field. And no, he does not win the race. Don't be ridiculous. He is actually several laps back. That honor goes to Dimitri, who takes the checkered flag and delivers what might be the least enthusiastic victory radio in recorded history.
Yeah, good race. Thank you.
Remember the only driver clever enough to start from the pits on wets? That's him. The one actually moving forward. Meanwhile, the rest were busy taking tire advice from Rafael, which is a bit like taking swimming lessons from a Brit. Lesson of the day. Don't be part of the easily led, aquaplaning herd. Now, I know we're meant to be focused on the GT3s, bless their oversteering little hearts, but things in the GTP field took a turn for the bizarre. Even by Sebring standards. 2 laps to go, the leader pits. Not exactly shocking. Maybe he was out of fuel, maybe he fancied a coffee. Who knows? Then, on the final lap, Christian Lind, now leading, also pits. Highly unusual, but still within the bounds of reason. Maybe he heard the coffee was really good. But here's where things go straight off the sanity rails. Christian comes out still in the lead, drives all the way to the final few meters, and then stops. Just parks it. Like he's queuing for fish and chips. He sits there, and waits.
Are you serious, man? Yeah,
Long
good
enough for
race.
second place, Stanley
Okay.
Yan, to casually cruise by and take the win. And then, as if this was all part of some elaborate theatre piece, Christian starts moving again and finishes second. What happened? No idea. Tactical move,
Yeah, good
disconnection,
race.
sudden attack
Okay.
of sportsmanship, a protest, an existential crisis, divine intervention. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. Fireworks to finish. The rain has finally stopped. A calm ending to one of the most unhinged races Sebring has ever produced. Now then, a quick look at the numbers before we all pretend this is a sensible, well-organized motorsport series. Week 2 at Sebring saw 2,128 drivers take part, which is either brilliant or deeply concerning, depending on how much you enjoy chaos. The Germans absolutely dominated, putting 4 drivers in the top 5. Because of course they did. The lone North American to break the pattern was Dennis Menz, who managed second. Tom Reyer took first, and Niklas Lobich finished third. As for Rafal, he ended the week in 4 of 9th, with 11 starts, and his best result being a second place which, frankly, is respectable. Especially at Sebring, where simply surviving is an achievement.
Well, hello you dirty bastards. Welcome to TV8. I hope you enjoyed our presentation with Tati. Tati is one of our AI journalists. Our team still also has 2 more people that we are going to introduce to you in later videos. Now, this practically a test video, so well, it's not going to be viewed by many people, but all of these 7 viewers that we had so far maybe can help us by telling if the video quality is okay, if the audio is okay. I don't think it is. I think it's too quiet, so that's something I'm going to have to, well, check for the next video. And this is a race I did in Sebring. It was week 2 of the IMSA iRacing series, and as you can see, it was a night race, and the weather was quite crazy because most of the races actually were were dry, so you could see some puddles on the side of the road, but it was dry. And the race Tati showed you, the simulator was saying that it was slightly it was mostly dry or something like that, and then everyone went with dry tires except that one dude that won the race. So yeah, so many people crashing, it was total chaos. Now, that was one of the first races of the week. People didn't know exactly how things were going to happen with this weather. But this race we are going to watch now, I believe this one was the one I made the most score, even though I had a second place in another race, but it was a smaller soft, so probably this one, but I am not going to give any more spoiler. That's enough already. And as you can see, it's raining a lot, so this race, no need to question if it was going to be a dry or wet tires. It's definitely wet for everybody. And well, it was a lot of fun. I love racing in the rain as we start the race, and the green flag's out. So we were going to start last, but even before the race start, 2 cars fell behind us, and then we now overtook Oliver on the Porsche. Is that how we say it? Overtook? Passed? I don't know. So yeah, and then now you're gonna see that you're actually not going to see. And I must tell you, and then here comes the Porsche again. He was in a mission. This guy, just watch this Porsche. He was, while everybody was checking out and trying to figure out how things were, he was just sending it. It was even fun to watch. And while we were trying to negotiate with this Mustangs here, so I believe we started with 33 cars, and as you can see in the lower right corner, you can always check which car we are following there, and then in the lower part there's a full. Whoa! Did you see that? Yeah, that was a nice save, wasn't it? So yeah, 33 cars I believe in this category, and then we have the GTPs that are going to start overtaking us soon. Yeah, that was a start. Oh, hear that sound. That's I love how this GT3s I'm a real big V8 engine sound, as you probably can tell, but having all these different cars with different sounds and different engine configurations, that's so cool, even though most of the cars are actually V8. And that was one of the Mercedes hitting the wall, and then this guy he tried to be as safe as possible, and to the point that he stopped the car. And I don't know if that's the safest thing to do. Okay, and then he starts accelerating again. As we pass one more, that's William Hepworth, and then we even try to pass a second car in the same corner, but no deal. That in front of us in another Mustang is Guillaume Pesti. As we now overtake the Porsche as well. I don't remember. Oh yeah, that's the same dude. And yeah, of course, either he was like overtaking 3 cars at the same time, or he was spinning. That was a lot of fun. So second lap, we are back behind Guillaume, trying to overtake him again, and he's braking in the rubber, and yeah, that's why he ends up not doing the corner the way he wanted, but still we couldn't make the move. Now it was really hard to find where the grip was, because sometimes it's like driving in the rain, the real life. You have to stay away from the rubber, but in some corners you actually do. You're actually seems to be faster doing the regular. Well, this part you can see anything. Doing the regular path. Whoops, connection. And this is the big straight. As Tati said in the beginning of the video, this was a military base. Now you take him. Yep. Always in the same spot. So, and as you can see, some parts of it are not asphalt. They are actually what's the word? I forgot. There is tarmac, and there is, yeah, sometimes it's hard and you're not thinking in your first language. We go wide again, but we learned the lesson, so yeah, stay out of that curb. And at lap 3 we are already up 11 positions. Whoa, and this guy almost, yeah, he did like a half a spin, right? And another position, so we are up 12 positions already. Of course, most of them are people who spun or crash, like these 2 guys. Oh yeah, and the reason we are watching this is because one of those cars that was slow was one of these cars. And when I recorded this, I recorded the replays in one day and the onboard in another day. That's why this blue car, when we passed him, it was red, but yeah, it's the same car. And that's us in the yellow Mercedes, and he's going to do his half spin, and that's us passing him. And the funny thing in this race is like everybody was making mistakes, and usually we were the last car to overtake. Like in this situation, that other car that tried to overtake actually didn't even pass him, so yeah, we got lucky there. And then again here we see a car, that's Eric, I think. Yeah, he goes out of the track, and we gain another position. We are now up to 19th place, having started from 33rd. not bad at all. And now this is the place we like to overtake people. This time it was it Eric? Or Eric was this dude? I'm not sure. They are both on Porsches. And that's us, again. We are the last car to pass. Actually, I think that another one did as well. And then we made the pass here. Lots of lighting. Now you see this part here, I never knew if it was better to stay on the rubber. It's quite hard to know. Now I did a race in real life in a big storm in Interlagos. And I can tell you that it's even worse than what we see here in iRacing. For you to see anything, it's insane. When you are like going up the main straight in Interlagos, you have to be looking at the sides, so you try to get any reference at all, because it doesn't matter if you look to the front, you're not going to see anything at all. So yeah, you have to be searching for references. It does happen here sometimes, but it's a lot. Oops! Now it's my time to take the different road. This part looks like a parking lot, like those go-kart tracks in parking lots. And I got to slow down there, so we are now in P18, and of course the higher we get, the more difficult it becomes to reach people and also to overtake them, because yeah, they get faster and faster, and also make less mistakes. Now this corner I was always making it wrong, and then yeah, another car spun there. Then I figure out that you better make it in the normal path, like this guy did. I mean, you have the risk of spinning like he did, but it's a lot faster. And you have the risk of spinning if you do the wet path. So yeah, might as well just go to the regular path. Right, next car is Tony Lepoa, is that right? In another Porsche. And he's got some advantage over us. And as we can see in our mirrors, whoops, another car out of the road and another position for us. As I was saying, there was a car real close to us in the mirror, but I believe this dude that made a mistake, he's going to return to the truck right in the middle of us again. So yeah, I don't know how many times that happened in there. That's us, the yellow Mercedes. We pass him. And then the car behind, yeah, I think he did pass as well. So yeah, sometimes we are the last, sometimes we are one to last. And this time I did go a bit more to the inside, and it was already a lot better. Probably like a second faster, just in that corner alone. And we are catching these guys. I'll see if I remember to throw the gets next time. We do have the soft though. Oh, actually we do have LMP2s on this race. I didn't even remember. So 2.3k for the LMP2s, 2.5 for the GT3s, and 2.6 for the GTPs that are probably going to be reaching us soon. I still don't see them on the box there. Yeah, well, at least they are not the two cars right behind of us. Little mistake there from Tony, and Tony is the number 1 car, which means he's the best ranked driver on this race. Oh, there they are. So John Silva, I love that name. I saw this dude like a few races already, and always remind me of the pirate Long John Silver. Yeah, lots of water coming, lots of spray coming up from Tony Lepola car. Someone just went really wide there. That seems to be João Araújo. As Dan Carpenter is still behind us, not anymore. Now it's John. He's going to be passing us anytime now. There he is. We can barely see him. If you're not paying attention, I just... Well, at least we have the spotter and the blue flags. So yeah, it's not that bad. Real close to Tony now. We are in P15 now. So yeah, we made 15, 16, 17, 18 positions since the start. Now, even though Tony had the number 1 on his car, I don't think he practiced much because his pace wasn't like that great, and he was making quite a considerable amount of mistakes. But we were not being able to capitalize on that. Now that last corner, that's the tower bend. That was a corner that was killing everyone, but for some reason was a corner that we were better at, so we could close up the gap to the other cars real well on that corner, except for one race I did that I crashed real bad there. So yeah, quite hard to reach Tony, and some other GTPs passing us now. And we can see anything. This corner is it's called the Sunset Bend, and it was probably the hardest corner to do, even on dry. Yeah, I almost remember the name of the thing. Damn it. But even when it's dry, it's really hard to do that corner. In the wet, it's insane. At least it's so wide that you can fit like, and I'm not joking, like 20 cars side by side there. As we overtake one more car, that's Carlos Gonzalez. For sure he had a problem too. Let's see what happened. So that's another car that has a different painting. And yeah, when you're in the grass, it's especially the wet grass, it's quite impossible to not spin the wheels of this car. And once again, we are going to be the last car to overtake the car that was spun. And we are up to P14. Now this is the corner we need to make right so you can overtake people at the end of the straight, but the problem is that Tony is also doing this corner well, so I don't know if he was trying to defend or if he was trying to get off the spray from the cars in front of him. And I believe this is the moment where the rain stopped. The track was still really wet, but at least the rain stopped, or at least it's lighter now. Carlos is still right on our tail. It was an interesting race because there were races on this week where the track was dry and everybody was crashing a lot more than in this race. Even though this is a wet race, everyone is kind of staying together. You know, that was quite fun. There goes Tony trying to overtake Benjamin, but no deal. I think Benjamin is the only driver driving in an Acura. This GTP made us lose quite some time. Look how the spray also goes to the side. That's because of the wind. And something I noticed, I really think that this wasn't a thing on iRacing. You see the flags on top of that thing. Well, I do kite surfing, and well, everyone who does even surfing or kite surfing are always paying attention to the wind. So every time we see a flag, we want to know which side the flags, which side the wind's blowing. Oops, another position, another car, a slow car. I don't remember what happened to this one. But what I was saying is that iRacing actually has the flags reacting not only to the position of the wind. That's the car that we passed. Oh, this time I think it was just a regular overtake. So it doesn't not only react to the wind, to the position, but also if the wind is strong or not, the flags will react to that. Of course, it's not that realistic. It kind of looks like it's made of paper, but well, it's getting there, and it's just the fact that they have these flags actually reacting to the wind. It's quite cool. And even now, I'm seeing that also the sprays of the cars. Oops, there goes Tony. Small mistake. Can we pass him now? Yep, we can, and we are up to P9. Let's see how it went. Small distraction from him, probably because of those cars making a orchestrated spin. Those are the flags I mentioned. Now, of course, when you're another that big flag, and here again, you can see better. But to actually see how they behave, you have to be stopped, because when you're driving, and I know most people watch this in cell phone, it's just impossible to see. See how much effort to control the car, and I think it's so cool. That's why I think every racing car should have the least possible amount of mechanical grip. And that's something I always tell about Formula 1, because they are always trying to do all kinds of weird stuff to, those aerodynamics opening with DRS, that you're opening your wings and stuff. And now this year it's going to be even more complicated, when all you need is reduce the amount of mechanical grip, and then it's like having a race in the rain, every race, and then let the teams break their minds to try and find solutions to deal with that. And of course the main thing, inverted grid. That's why not? Every time you have a driver that is fast, but for some reason screws up his qualifying, then it's a fun race. So why not doing that every race too? As we try to overtake the Acura, but Benjamin didn't back off, and I believe, there I noticed that I was going to lose time with him, because he was not backing off. Most of the cars that we tried to overtake, they did back off because they didn't want to fight, because they knew that it wasn't the time to lose time fighting. But we're getting near the end now, and people will start to fight. Now we did manage to make an undercut on Carpenter, and when I looked at his replay, what happened was he probably forgot to uncheck the tires, or how can I say it, to ask his engineer to not change the tires. So they left the car to change the tires, and he decided he didn't want tires. So but that was enough for him to lose time. That's another car we did overtake. Another spin. And that's us, one of the last cars again. And we did the undercut on Carpenter, but Carlos did the undercut on us. So we are back behind Carlos, and now we're gonna have to wait till everybody stops to see where, which position we are going to be. That's another GT. Oh, actually, that's a LMP2. Yeah, I didn't remember that. For me, it was all GTPs, but this race actually had LMP2s as well. Another car off the. Ooh, and that was close. Yeah, that was a nice, like, entering the track like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's another car that changed the layout, and he just crossed the. What the heck? He just crossed the road, like he went from one side to the other. I don't know, maybe his car was broken and he didn't have control. It has to be that, because otherwise it's just, yeah, it had to be that. I'm not going to make any assumptions here, because yeah, I would probably be wrong either way. So we are back in P14 now, but we have already made our pit stop. We did lose the position to Carlos, and he's actually opening the gap. Well, oh yeah, we had that near crash, so that's when he managed to escape. And we are going to have to try and catch him back with while we are entering the last part of the race. Well, another thing that I should do next time is add the clock, so we know how much time left, because I did put the laps, as you can see, but I don't remember how many laps this race had. And now now that the rain has stopped, the track should start drying, but I'm not sure. I don't remember the temperature, but well, it's night, so it's not that easy to dry up. Well, we did catch Carlos. He was faster through that corner, but we did had a better exit. Not enough to try and move though. Okay. We passed by the pits and we went from P14 to P11, so that means 3 cars were making their pit stops. Ooh, and a big save there with a car right in the middle of the track there. And again, same thing, Carlos just managed to escape again. So for all of our 578 viewers that are watching, no, just kidding, there are 5 people watching the race now. Well, if you have any questions, or if you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, I encourage you to watch this video from the start, because we had some quite interesting stuff. We do have our AI presenter. I expect you to like her. But as I said before, we also have two more journalists, AI journalists, and those are Benny and Rusty. So on next videos, maybe we will introduce them. And we have so much cool stuff coming up. Well, we kind of made a game, and in that game there's a really cool trailer. If you go to my channel, you're going, I think it's the cover channel, or the cover video, and it's a really cool video. But well, people build their cars from like, oops, that's another car coming off the pit, so another position for us, P10. But since we're not fighting anyone right now, I'm bringing this stuff to you. So yeah, this was amazing. We had this competition where people would create their cars, and so they would build everything from the chassis and suspensions, every type of engine you can imagine, and then we would make racing versions of those cars. But not only, I mean, first we would compare the selling, who would sell more cars, and those who sold more would have an advantage when building the racing cars. And we had all kinds of competitions. We had off-roading, we had circuit racing, we had drag racing, rally, regular rally. We had all kinds of competitions. It was really cool. And the next step on that, and that's why I'm having this, I'm bringing this channel back to life, is that we want to have drivers racing for these people that build the cars. Because what was happening is that people would build the cars, but these people that build the cars, they usually don't even have a steering wheel. So what I want to do now is bring these two types of people together. So the ones that build the cars and the one that drive. So we would have kind of a market, a driver's market, and so where the builders would contract race drivers to drive their cars, and I think that would be quite cool. So yeah, stick around, watch the trailer. I believe you're gonna like, if you like this kind of stuff. And also, if you're watching this later, not live, please tell me what did you like here, what can be improved, what segments you liked, because as you saw, we had quite a few different segments. We even had two different ways of showing races. So yeah, and we still have one segment on this show today, and that's we are going to analyze one of the incidents, and I know you love this kind of stuff. So yeah, because we are going to have to tell who is to blame and what's the sentence. So yeah, we're going to do that in a second. And of course, you watching it, you can also give your verdict on who's at fault. Okay, so we are reaching the last laps now. Another car crashed there, and we are in P10. For those that didn't, who just joined us, we started P33, so we gained 23 positions on this race. That's really cool. And things got a bit chill in the last couple of laps. And we are trying to reach Carlos again. He managed to escape quite a lot. We can barely see his spray now, but well, we can catch him. Everything can happen. Of course, I know what happened, but I'll not give any spoiler. or not anymore. I gave one already. And Carlos just passed an Aston Martin of Sven Wolf. So that's another one that we can overtake. And his car is all sideways, so yeah, he did crash as well. We are going to take a look at his crash. That's Sven Wolf. He was doing quite well in the top 10, and then yeah, it was quite a small hit, and yeah, it broke his car really badly. That's us overtaking him. His car is all messed up. I don't think he's going to finish this race. And then in the black box there, one of the drivers of the LMP2 cars is called, well, this is going to be tough because when I lived in the States, people had a lot of difficulties saying my name. Well, in Portuguese you say Rafael, but people would say everything Rafael, mostly Rafael. But this dude is actually, oh, there he is. It's actually called Rafael. So yeah, maybe, as we had the hiccup there. So yeah, maybe someone in the States wanted to give the name Rafael and actually ended up called his son Rafael, or whatever you would say in English. But that's how languages are. They are always evolving, right? The important thing is that we understand each other. And I'm not sure if this is the last lap, but we are catching up Carlos, and we are P9 now. Besides Carlos, everyone else around us is from different classes. Now at this point, I don't know if you heard, but the traction control was like screaming out of that corner, and the sensible thing to do would be to reduce the traction control, since the track is it's not drying, but it's not as wet as it was, and there was another car out of the track. So yeah, you can hear the traction control making a lot of noise. So does my dogs. I don't know if you're hearing them. Oh yeah, this is the last lap, I remember that. So yeah, we did catch up to Carlos, but I made that mistake, and that was actually my last chance. So yeah, we won't be able to overtake him. But stick around, because our next segment is going to be analyzing a incident and then telling who is at fault. And also you're going to, I think Tati is going to come back for to present that. And yeah, my dogs are going crazy, I don't know why. Was that last lap? No, I still have one lap. So I was mistaken about that. The good thing about watching this, I think I would be a good person to do those movie reacts and that kind of stuff, because I watch a movie in one day and I forget everything about it in the next day. But yeah, Carlos managed to open up a bit again. We are even trying to brake a bit more in the rubber there. And by the amount of spray, you can tell that the track's actually drying. And there's another class car right behind us, and for some reason it's not overtaking us. I don't know if it's broken or what. It's an LMP2 car. Yeah, if I'm going to be a famous YouTuber, I definitely need a place that doesn't get the noise from the outside. Hopefully you're not hearing my dogs. Well, some people like to hear dogs more than people, right? So I believe that's my case. They actually go crazy like this every day in the same hour. Or around the same hour. The same time, I mean. '20th lap and P7 after starting at P33. Not bad. So since we're getting close to the end here, well, as I mentioned, I am trying to bring this channel back to life as a sim racing and also real racing. I'm not racing in real races for a while, almost a year now. My Beetle is, well, the carburetor was broken due to the alcohol not being friendly with this type of material. So I did install a fuel injection, but fuel cables are still, oh yeah, this is the last lap. I see the fireworks already. So yeah, there's that. There's the game that I'm making. There's a Beetle that we want to start racing again. There are the sim races. And there's more stuff to come, so please do subscribe if you like this type of stuff. Do comment, that seems to be one important. Oh, and that, yeah, that's the mistake I made. Yeah, I could have passed Carlos, but yeah, that was a mistake. That was a last chance. And well driven by Carlos. He did gain the position in the pit stop and did well in holding on to it. But well, P7, I couldn't ask for anything better than that when I started. So yeah, I think I made more points on this one than in the one that I actually finished second. And so next week we went to Circuit de la Sat and now we are at Red Bull Ring. So I'm not sure. Oh, that's Tati. Sorry.
But don't you dare wander off. Rafal's about to go back live for a proper stewarding analysis, and then we'll have a look at the chat to see what unhinged opinions you lot have brought with you today, while he hydrates, because apparently that's a motorsport feature now. Do the usual like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a comment so the algorithm doesn't bury us like a GT3 in the gravel. Oh, and if you're feeling brave, share it with a mate who thinks every incident is just hard racing. Now enjoy our next segment.
Exhibit A, the replay.
Alright, so that's another segment. And this was a huge crash. And this is a Aston Martin of Lauritz. He goes off track. Then the McLaren spins, and it seems like a racing incident, right? And then Lawrence tries to go to the pits and ends up being uh, annihilated by the other cars. And but after seeing the replay, I think I have a verdict actually. So this is Jake Stewart in the McLaren. He loses the car, so yeah, that was a mistake for him. Uh, mm, we can't blame him for spinning the car, right? Or I mean, we can, but well. And this is the car. This is Jesse who was behind him. We can see that Jesse doesn't even turn the wheel to the left because he probably knew there was a car there. And this is Lawrence. So he goes off the track and then he rejoins. And looking at from the inside here on his car, it still looks like a racing incident.
My God, are you fucking blind or what?
Yeah, take the kids out of the room. So yeah, he got really pissed, but well, let's take a look here. He goes off the track, so every time you go off the track you have to rejoin like safely, right? And here, as you can see, he's actually turning in direction of the apex there. So even if the McLaren didn't spin, he was going to hit that that GTP anyways. And then here, I mean, I can understand his frustration and even like in the radio and all, but you're not supposed to do that. So that's something else. And here, as you can see, instead of rejoining on the left, he rejoins. Okay, it was a time already, but then he's pointing to the apex. So even I don't know if he was trying to go to the pits or what, but if that's the case, then he would have to wait for the other cars so he could do that. And then here, after that, okay, let's watch the cars that came behind. So there was a yellow flag for sure, and some of the cars actually did slow down a bit. This is Dominic, as you can see. Yeah, the BMW did slow down, but Lawrence again, instead of holding the key to get off the car, that's what you do in a sim. If it was a real race, okay, but then instead of doing that, he just kept trying to get to the pits. And again, I understand that he was so close to the pits that he would try, but well. If it was a league race and I was a steward, I was going to penalize him for unsafe rejoins, for the chat, and for trying to go to the pits instead of hitting the escape key. So what actually seemed to be a racing incident, at least in my opinion, was all Lawrence's fault. And of course I could be wrong, but I saw 3 mistakes there from him. And so that was it. He's sentenced to 10 laps around Yas Marina in a Tesla Cybertruck as his penalty. And well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment and tell us what you did like, what you didn't like, how was the image, the sound, and all that stuff. And I probably won't make the videos for the following weeks because I am preparing the main video that's going to be a presentation for all of this stuff that is happening now. That includes the game mod that I'm making, the website, the real race car that I am finishing to install the fuel injection, and what else? Well, there's a lot of things to bring in that video. And again, if you like this kind of stuff, take a look in our channel. We even have some real racing stuff there. So yeah, enjoy. I would like to thank everyone that watched all of our 15 views, and hopefully there will be a lot of people, and we are going to grow this channel a lot through the next videos. Once again, thank you, and see you next time.